All right. Well, good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to the fifth and final session of our 2021 Mini Med School for Kids program. I can't believe our time together will soon be coming to a close. However, we have an exciting afternoon in store for you, and we have some very special guests they'll be joining us today. But before we begin, let's quickly recap what we learned last week. All right. Okay, so you all should be able to see my screen. So I'm sure you all remember last week's discussion about stress and anxiety and those feelings that we all may be experiencing given the fact that we're still dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Hoover joined us last week to speak with us about ways we can express our feelings and who we can talk to when we feel emotions like sadness, anxiety, and fear. All right. Now let's take a minute to review today's agenda and a few class rules. So after I wrap up the introduction, we'll hear from our presenters, and they'll be speaking with us for about 30 to 40 minutes. And following their presentation, we'll take about 5 minutes to ask any questions. So if you have any questions for any of the doctors you see today, you can raise your hands and they can take a few questions. And afterwards, we will follow up with our virtual graduation ceremony. Okay, and as for our class rules, you all have been doing a great job with these. Let's just continue to give our presenters our undivided attention. Let's be sure to stay in our seats and remember to raise our hands if we have any questions. All right. All right, so today we are joined by Dr. Kristin Rivas and a few other medical professionals and students. Dr. Revis is a medical doctor and an assistant professor of family medicine at the university. She will be joining us to talk to us about why she chose a career in medicine, and she's asked a few other medical professionals to join us to discuss their career paths as well. So Dr. Revis, I will turn things over to you.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Thumbs up if we're doing okay. Awesome. So thank you for inviting me and some of my colleagues to come and talk to you guys today. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, which is why I became a doctor, why we all became doctors, and how you all can become doctors too. So I'm gonna share my screen for a little bit and go over some like really broad ideas of becoming a doctor. Let me just find this. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Perfect. So as Lauren said, my name is Kristin Rivas, and I work at what's called University Family Medicine, which is right in downtown Baltimore. So right at the corner of Paca Street and Lombard Street. So you guys probably have gone by our office many times. And I'm joined by several of the doctors who are training, and they'll talk to you about how they got here as well. So this is really just a whole bunch of words on a map, but basically showing that there's several steps that are involved in deciding to become a doctor. And while this map starts in college, for many people, the idea of becoming a doctor starts way before that, and for different reasons. And you'll hear that as folks are telling their stories today. But basically it starts in terms of education, starts usually in college, and then you'll gain experience and things all the way throughout your college career. And then you go to medical school, and then, you know, you become a training doctor like these folks who are on the call today. So before you get there, before you get to the position that we're all in, really the first step is to decide that you have a desire to help others. And while we know that there are a ton of ways to help others, for us, we've decided that the way that we want to help is to be a doctor or to be a physician. We help people as family doctors. We not only help people when they're sick. What we really like is checking on people when they're doing well and giving them tips and advice on how to stay well. But when folks do become sick or develop medical problems, we also have the ability to help treat their medical problems so that they can be as healthy as possible. So once you make that decision that you want to help others in the way that a physician or a doctor would, then the next step is really to get exposure to medicine and get exposure to what a doctor does. For a lot of us, the idea of doing something sounds great until we experience it. Sometimes if you go to an amusement park and a ride looks really, really fun, and then you get on it and then your stomach gets upset, then you're like, maybe that wasn't the best idea. So really it's that exposure that can make you either more confident in your decision, or maybe makes you decide that you want to help people in a different way. So the way that we do this is by what's called shadowing oftentimes. So people who are interested in going into medicine or medical school will often find a doctor who they can go and work with while they're seeing patients, just to see what it's like, and decide if that's really something that they want to do with the rest of their life. And then another way to prepare yourself is to really expose yourself to different people through volunteering or, you know, what we call service. And that really, again, that exposure to different kind of people in different stages of life often helps to reinforce that decision that you want to spend your life helping others. Again, in the way that we've decided to do that is through medicine, through becoming a doctor. So how long does it take to become a doctor? After high school, you will spend at least 4 more years in school. So you'll go to college, which is 4 years for most people. And then you'll go to medical school, which again is 4 years for most people. There are some people who do extra school in between. And there's some other people who maybe make a decision to go into medicine later. So they may, you know, go and work a different kind of job. And some people, they do stuff in science and in healthcare, but there's some people who do completely different things and then later on decide that they want to be a doctor. And so, you know, the shortest time for most people is about 8 years, but for some people, it can take a bit longer depending on the path that they took to get to medicine. After medical school, we have what's called residency training. And the doctors who are joining me they're all residents in our family medicine program. So they're doctors, but they're still learning. And they all have teachers like me and several of my other colleagues who help to guide them while they're taking care of patients. Depending on what field of medicine you go into, that training can take anywhere from 3 to 7 years. And then there's some folks who decide that they want to do even more special training, and that can take anywhere from a year or longer. So it's a pretty long road, but I think that it's one that's really worth it, and really it makes me feel really good to be able to help people in the way that I can. The next slide is kind of crazy and a whole bunch of words. But after you decide that you want to be a doctor, there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can help people. As I said, all of us are family doctors, so we can see patients from the day that they're born all the way until the end of their life, and everyone in between. But there are some people who are surgeons, and there are some people who are pediatricians and only take care of kids, or adult medicine doctors who only take care of adults. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can practice medicine. So I was going to tell you guys a little bit about me. So how did I get from the picture on the left, where I was probably about you guys' age? I was about 7 in that picture. And then over on the right, that's me. That was a picture of me taken about a year ago. So I probably was about your age when I decided I wanted to be a doctor. And I don't really remember why or how I figured it out. It was something that really just, sounded like fun. I would be able to, I think I was interested in being a pediatrician or a doctor for kids at that age. And the idea of helping kids and helping them stay healthy was something that I just became interested in. I didn't have a whole bunch of role models. I didn't really have any doctors around me. So I didn't really know what that would take. But it was something that I always wanted to do. So when I was in high school and college, I tried to take all the science and math classes that I would need to make sure that I could go into medicine. And I actually went to college here in Baltimore. I went to Morgan State. And when I graduated, I still wanted to be a doctor, but I felt like I needed a little bit more time to help get myself ready. So as I said, some people do some extra schooling in between. So I did that. I went to a special school, a special program called the post-baccalaureate program. So it's a big word that basically means I took some extra classes to help get myself ready for medical school. So I did that. And then I came to medical school here at University of Maryland. When I was here and starting to see patients, I really enjoyed all of the different patients that I saw. So when I was younger, I really just saw myself seeing kids. I decided I really liked seeing all kinds of people. I liked seeing kids and adults. I liked delivering babies. And so I decided that family medicine was the best way for me to do that. After that, I went and did, like I said, what's called my residency training. And there I, again, learned all the different ways that we practice medicine as a family doctor. And instead of going off and just working in a doctor's office after that, I decided that I wanted to help teach new doctors how to become doctors. So I came back and started working here at University of Maryland, where I can work with all of these awesome doctors that are going to tell you their stories next. So that when, mainly so that when I'm old and need all the medical help that I need, that I know that there's great doctors that are coming up behind me that can help take care of me and my family and you and your families. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to these doctors to tell you a little bit about why they went into medicine. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves and then talk about why you're here. I was going to let Dr. Martin go first, just in case she has to leave us.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you guys. My name is Dr. Destiny Martin. It's so good to see all of you. Congratulations to finishing mini med school. I think that's such a great thing that you guys did. You took 5 weeks to learn about your body, to learn about your friends, to learn about anxiety and stress. These might be things you didn't know before. So congratulations on doing it. And you got to learn about all of that in the middle of a pandemic. I feel like you guys are already on your way to becoming good doctors. When I was you guys' age, I was also interested in stuff like this. And when I was a little bit older, I also did mini med school. So I did it also before I became a doctor. I didn't get to do it at your age. I did it when I was a little bit older, but I loved it. And when I was there, we learned about something called diabetes, and that's something I'm still learning about today. So I just wanted to congratulate you all. When I was you guys' age, when I was 8 years old, that's when I knew that I wanted to become a doctor. I was in my classroom. My teacher said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I don't know," but I knew that I like to help people. I knew that I like science. I knew that I like math. And I like to learn about just new things. And I spent a lot of time in the hospital, just sleeping there because I had family members that were always sick. So I used to watch the doctors, and I thought that what they did was pretty cool. And they help people get better. And I was like, okay, I think I want to do that. But I never saw a doctor that looked like me. I never saw a Black girl doctor. So I told my teacher, I want to be a nurse when I grow up, but I really want to be a doctor, but I don't think I can be because I'm a Black girl. And she was like, you can be a doctor if you're a Black girl. And I said, okay. And so once I was 8 years old, since I've been 8 years old, that's what I wanted to do. And so today I'm a doctor, and I want to encourage all of you to do what you guys want to do. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be the president of the United States, whatever it is you guys want to do, just stick to it and do well. It's nice meeting you all, and congratulations. I guess I should call on one of you, Dr. Mahmood.
Dr. Martin, thank you so much for sharing your amazing, amazing story. I feel like if I was listening to you, I definitely want to reach out to you and talk to you a little bit more, which I hope is an option for some of you there. I want to ask a really quick question. How many of you that are sitting down actually like going to the doctor? Can I see a raise of hands? Okay. I see 1, 2, 3. Okay. Awesome. Personally, I hated going to the doctor. Kind of meant that I'd wait for 4 hours in the waiting room only to see a doctor for 15 minutes, and then I'd just get a shot and then I'd go crying home. That to me wasn't fun. And growing up, I never really wanted to be a doctor. In high school, I wanted to study history. Later on, I wanted to study being like an astronomer at one point. But I don't know, I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know how. And being a doctor wasn't at the top of my list. It wasn't until kind of college when I started to figure things out a little bit more. Funny enough, I went on a trip to India and I saw a guy named Dr. Arole who was doing some really, really cool things. He was a doctor, but he was changing his entire community. He was helping everyone from people who didn't know how to read to people with really bad sickness and illness. And then I saw, okay, wow, this is what a doctor can do. He can not only see someone in a clinic, but he can change his entire community. And that to me meant a lot. And then as I went through medical school and other things, I saw that being a doctor can mean just about anything. A doctor can be, just like the way Dr. Revis was saying, there's so many different paths. You can be in the operating room and be a surgeon. You can be in the emergency room and treat people as soon as they come through the ambulance into your hospital. Or you could be a family medicine doctor that kind of does a little bit of everything. But you can also be someone who is a lawyer. You can be a mayor. You can be someone who prevents people from getting sick in the first place. And I think just being a doctor can open up so many doors for you that not being a doctor can not always have that access for you. But what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to not know what you want to do right now. It's okay to not really know what a doctor is right now. I don't think I really know either. I think the options are kind of vast and so many to choose from. So best of luck, and we're here for you. All right. Next up, I'll pass it to Dr. Johnson.
Oh, hello guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm Dr. Eric Johnson. I am also one of the family medicine residents. I'm a second year. I work with Dr. Mahmoud, Dr. Martin. And it's so good to be here with you guys. It's hard to follow up with what Dr. Mahmoud just said. He laid it out pretty well, but I can kind of give you a window to my journey to medicine. I actually also did not think I was going to be a doctor. I was focused on different things in science after high school that I was interested in, just various different things. I thought I would be a psychologist. I thought I'd do like other things in general biology at one time, but after like getting some time to do different programs throughout college where I was able to kind of shadow doctors and volunteer plenty, kind of as we talked about earlier, that's where I kind of really found out that I wanted to be a doctor. I could see that the effect that doctors had on people and were able to just talk them through their problems, get them to a better phase of health. It was just great to see and seeing the different people that they touched every single day to kind of get them to a better place. So that's mainly what motivated me to get the medicine. I'm still figuring it out. There's a lot you can learn every single day. And I think it's great if you love to learn in general. So that's kind of my bit piece. I'm sure we'll get to more when we start answering some questions. All right, so this is next will be Ari Goldstein, Dr. Ari Goldstein.
Hi everyone, it's lovely to meet you all. I'm so excited that you're here today and learning about this journey that you could potentially take. So once again, yeah, my name is Dr. Ari Goldstein. I grew up down the road from here in Owings Mills, just outside the city. And you know, my story, I had some people involved in medicine in my family. My dad was a doctor, so I was very lucky to be able to see it up close. And my grandmother was a nurse. So I was able to see it, but I still wasn't really sure that I wanted to be a doctor at first. You know, I liked science, but I also liked English and math and history. And I wasn't really sure what path I wanted to go down, but I knew that I wanted to help people, like everybody else here today. But you know, as I grew up, I would be out with my dad in public and we'd be at a store or, you know, at a restaurant or something. And we'd see one of his patients or a family member of one of his patients, and they'd come up to him and they would say, you know, thank you so much for helping my mom or for helping me or for helping my grandfather. And, you know, that really left an impact on me, seeing how being a doctor can really help people and kind of change their lives in the long term. So I saw that and I realized, you know, I can use my interest in science and math and history and English in the field of medicine to help people. So I ended up going to college down the road at University of Maryland in College Park over in PG County. And then I came here to University of Maryland in Baltimore for medical school. And now I'm in my first year of this family medicine residency program. So I'm excited to meet you all today and excited to answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for introducing yourselves and telling your story. And now, so this is all of, our family medicine family. And this is actually an older picture. We're going to take a new picture in a couple of weeks. But as a residency program, our doctors are changing all the time. So it's awesome for us to be able to continue to help new doctors learn and then go off and help their communities, as everyone has talked about. But now I'm gonna stop sharing here. We wanted to open up the floor for you guys if you have questions for me or any of the other doctors here.
Were you able to hear her?
No.
She said, how do doctors help you?
What was the last part?
How do doctors help you?
Help you.
I can try. Well, doctors help you in a lot of different ways. It depends on what you need help with. What if you came in and you had a fever and you were really hot? We would find out what was causing you to have this fever to see if we need to give you medications or to see if we need to do anything else that was different. Or if you came in because you were having an upset stomach, we could see what was going on. Sometimes we might have to get some imaging or get a picture of your belly to see what's going on inside and to see if we can help you with medicines or if you could just help you with changing the foods that you're eating or to see if we need to take you to get an operation. So it depends on what you're coming for. So we can help people with a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. For example, some people have COVID and we have to help them in different ways. Some people need oxygen to help them breathe. Some people just need pain medicines because they're in pain. Some people just need somebody to talk to because they might be feeling anxious. So it just depends.
Anybody else have a question? Come on, Abby. Who else has a question? Anybody else? Come here, baby.
How does doctors get tools to help people?
So how do doctors get the tools to help people? Are you talking about like the supplies that they use? Yes. How do you get the supplies that you use to help people?
So some of the tools that you probably have seen doctors use are like a stethoscope. So that we just get from the store. But then some of the other things, like when you go in the doctor's office and they look in your eyes and in your ears, a lot of those things come from special medical stores. So that's how we get those tools.
Anybody else have a question? Come here, Alan.
Do doctors have to drive a car?
Do doctors have to drive a car? Are you talking about when they're working? Yes. Do doctors have to drive a car when they're working?
I can answer that. So doctors can drive a car if that's how they want to get to work, or if they want to go see their patients at their house. But some doctors walk to work, some doctors take the car, some doctors take the bus, some doctors take the subway. Yesterday when I went to work, I biked to work. So there's all sorts of different options for how you can get to work.
I have a question. Oh. Okay. I know, we lost her.
Dr. Martin, I think you're muted right now.
Yeah. She is.
Oh, okay. I said someone asked a question about tools. Does anybody know what this tool is? Okay.
Right there.
A stethoscope?
Correct. Perfect. And can you tell us what it's used for?
Hear people's heart?
Correct. Perfect. I like it. Yep. So that's one of the tools that we use.
Anybody else have a question? Come on, Alex.
How do tools work?
So she said, how do tools work? So they explain how the stethoscope works. Do you want to explain how another tool might work that you use, doctors?
So that's a really good question. The way a stethoscope works is kind of interesting. Your heart and your lungs, what they do is already makes sound, and that sound kind of gets trapped against the bell of the stethoscope, which is on one end. Well, let me show you. On this end, and it kind of pushes against it, the sound. And that sound goes all the way up into this earpiece. Kind of looks like earbuds, doesn't it? Right? The little parts right here, that goes right into our ears and we can hear what we're listening to.
Anybody else have a question? Bryson, you got a question? Okay, we're done with the question.
All right. Well, thank you all for inviting us and for such great questions.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, boys and girls, can you please take a second to thank all of our presenters today, all of our doctors on the call? Can we give them a big, big thank you? All right, wonderful, wonderful. Alrighty. Well, now we are going to turn things over to our graduation portion of the ceremony. For all of the doctors who can stay on the call, feel free. However, we do understand that you're working, so if you have to excuse yourself, that is okay. So we just wanted to say thank you very much, and we're going to move on to their graduation ceremony.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty. All right. All right, we've got a couple who are hopping off.
When she calls you,
okay.
What I want you to do is.
All righty. Well, we have finally come to the portion of the afternoon that we've been waiting for, our virtual graduation ceremony. And so in a minute, we are going to share a very special message from the Dean of the School of Medicine, Dean E. Albert Revis. All righty, so just turn your attention to the screen. Okay. All right, now can everyone see this YouTube screen that I have pulled up?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All righty. Here we go.
Thank you, Lauren. This is an exciting day. I'd like to congratulate each one of you for completing your mini medical school program. You should give yourselves a round of applause. I'd also like to extend my deep appreciation to the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club of Franklin Square for allowing us to host yet another mini medical school program. It has been a great privilege serving each of you every year since 2008. To our graduates, I'm sure you have learned a great deal from our physicians and scientists over these 5 weeks on a wide variety of topics. I know that you have learned about a number of things, such as why public health is an important part of our everyday lives and how it works in our local community. I'm sure you've also learned about proper nutrition and how making better food choices will help our bodies stay healthy and strong. Also, why the COVID-19 vaccine is very important in how doctors are working to develop a vaccine for young kids. And finally, you've also learned about what we can do to take better care for mental health during this pandemic period. I know that in the final session today, you've heard about some of our brightest doctors and have learned why you should consider careers in medicine or science, which I sincerely hope many of you will do. Let me tell you about a program we have over at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. It's called the Dean's Challenge. This is a program I developed to encourage our top scientists to take on the toughest questions in medicine today. Can I give you a challenge? Okay. First, I'd like each of you to think about information you have learned in medical school and share that information with at least 3 persons this summer, maybe family members or friends. That is a great way for you to help them to become healthier and to make a real difference in the lives of your family and the community. Now, here's my second challenge. I hope that this program has inspired you to start thinking about careers in science and medicine later on. When you grow up, you may want to become a scientist or a doctor or a dentist. These are careers that I encourage you to consider. I'd like you to spend some time before the end of the summer thinking about what you would like to be when you grow up. For example, start imagining yourselves finding cures for diseases. How about that? Imagine yourselves helping those in need in your communities and around the world. Also, you could imagine yourselves standing out and being the best. Remember, you must first imagine before any dream of any sort can become a reality. As for me and all of us here, we see so much potential in each of you. I see future doctors, lawyers, police officers, scientists, and even presidents. You're all world changers. And for that reason, you must aim high. Aim very high. Stay focused and reach for the goals. The possibilities are endless when you work hard and dream big. So students, I'm expecting great things from each of you. Congratulations on your mini-medical school course this summer. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful school year that will begin shortly. Thank
you. All right, wonderful. Well, boys and girls, on behalf of the University of Maryland School of Medicine, I would like to congratulate you all and recognize your completion of the 2021 Mini Medical School for Kids program. I'm going to take a moment to recognize each and every student. So I want each student to listen out for their name. When you hear me call your name, please come to the front of the room to accept your certificate. So Shalika, are the certificates in hand? For Miss Monica, wonderful. Okay, we're ready to go. All right, so our first student, Ada Better. Is Ada with us today? All right, we'll move on. AJ Bullard. Is AJ with us today? All righty, congratulations. Wonderful. Wonderful. Aaliyah Brown. Is Aaliyah with us today? All right. Bryson Franklin. Congratulations. Caleb Wilkes. Congratulations. All right. Deja Alexis Costello. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Wonderful. Is Daron Horn with us today? Okay, all right. Destin Fonts. Is Destin with us? Congratulations. What about, is it Jemiara Jones?
Yeah. Yeah.
All righty, congratulations. Jonte Lee. Congratulations. Right. And what about Khalil? Is Khalil with us today? Khalil Partlow.
Yes.
Congratulations. Caden Lee. Congratulations, Caden. Right. Carl Reese. Congratulations, Carl. Kaylee Washington.
Keep going.
Okay. Kendrick Walker.
Keep going.
Okay. Khalil Washington. Okay.
Keep going.
Madison Davis.
Keep going.
Okay. Marley Wilson. All right. Congratulations, Marley. What about Rosiah Robinson? Congratulations. Riley Jefferson. Congratulations, Riley. All right. How about Skylar Jones? Congratulations, Skylar. Right. Summer Lane, is Summer with us? Okay. And last but certainly not least, Willow Johnson. Is Willow with us? Congratulations, Willow.
Okay.
All right. Wonderful.
I'm missing one child. Faylin.
Are we missing one?
Faylin Farrell.
Oh, right. Yes. Phelan Farrell. Does Phelan have her certificate?
Okay, yes.
All
yes.
right. Phelan, I'm so sorry for forgetting you. Congratulations, sweetheart. Congratulations. Wonderful. Well, I think we have everyone who is with us today. So we just want to say a job well done, students. You all have done a great job this summer of just being attentive, asking all of the important questions. And we hope that you take something that you learned this summer and take it back home with you. You take it to your families, you take it to your friends at school and teach them something. And we hope that something that was said from all of our presenters over the past 5 weeks, we hope that something said will inspire you to move forward and to pursue your dreams. Hopefully your dreams in medicine, in science, but really any professional dream that you have, we stand with you and we are so excited for you. You are so bright and so talented. All right, so thank you all for spending the afternoon with us. Okay, and good luck. Wonderful, congratulations everyone. And have a great school year, okay? All righty. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, and thank you, Dr. Revis, as well. Thanks for staying on with us. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
All right.